So every week since the world's finest assassin has launched, I sit with you guys here, and I talk to you, and I tell you guys like, hey, I just gush over this anime. Like I think this is one of the finest pieces of anime animation that I've seen in a long time. That I just completely vibe with, like on every fiber of my otaku being. Like every anime chord that I want from an anime, this just hits. Like good writing, good character development, a MC that is likable and semi relatable in a way. An MC who lived out his life to be an older gentleman and then got reincarnated, not some high school kid who not who hadn't hit puberty yet. Like nothing crazy, right? Like it was all there. Then he's an assassin, and he does have a low key harem, but he does it through planning and the dominoes are just falling in place for him. This episode, he goes through puberty. He has a morning accident, which for most of us gentlemen out there, sorry ladies, it happens. You know what I mean? It does happen, especially when you're when you're of that age, around 11, 12, 13, sometimes 14, maybe 15 for you late bloomers out there. And it does end up happening, and it's uncontrollable. And the fact that they use that as like a comedic effect here, I was like, that's hilarious. Again, this anime just strokes every fiber of my anime goodness that I really like. This episode, though, was really interesting, and it really felt like a really long episode to me, too. But essentially, what happened in the episode, just to recap it real fast, is we have Lou solidifying himself as a merchant. He gets official paperwork done for Maha, and he gets Mr. Billig or whatever to adopt her fully, so he's now her legal sister. Well, you guys know what I mean. He's his legal sister, but she's adopted by Billig now, right? So we have that. Then Billig gives him a shop and gives him hopes to turn it around because he failed a alcohol company. He comes up with a plan, within like a couple of days, and he's going to produce moisturizers and lotions, which they don't have in this world, which he ends up doing very successfully. He launches the place. Within 6 months, it's extremely, extremely popular. And he also secured the rights of how to produce it by using the Tuathe's medicine. So he's basically solidified himself as a merchant. Because of the success of that shop, he now has the ins and outs to be able to visit other kingdoms and princesses and people of really high nobility. So he can basically move around however he wants. He hired all of Maha's friends because, it felt right to him, but he's saying that she has control. He gave a bunch of reasons. And then we have him getting really close to Maha and Tarte, as always. And then he visits once a month. We found out that he visits Dia. And I love that. I love Dia so much. But he visits Dia once a month, and he gets to have his special time with her, creating spells and just whatever he wants. He just gets to have that time to be able to spend with her, which I think is really precious and awesome, and I love their relationship so much. And obviously, he loves their relationship so much because the accident I talked about before only came after his visit with Dia and having some good dreams. But after he wakes up that way, Tarte and Maha get a sniff, and they let him know that they will now be taking care of those needs for him going forward, which may or may not be part of his plan, which is what we ended on, which I thought was really cute. And I really love that. Of course, we all knew that those things were going to be coming for him, but at least they weren't him introducing it. It was the people surrounding him, introducing that to him. So I think that is very natural for him. The only one that I worry about a little bit is just Dia, because we don't know what relationship she specifically has. She calls herself his big sister, but we don't know if that's really the reality. You know what I mean? She looks just like him. She looks like his mom a little bit. So we don't know if she's a mom's love child or dad's love child, or if she's like, I guess if she's like a cousin or something like that, it's more acceptable in the world. But if she is his like sister or half sister, I don't know. Regardless, I love Dia and I want to see him get closer to her. It's just that's my only worry for Homeboy, is just like, please don't let that be your sister. But regardless, he definitely has some very nice surrounding characters around him. But I just love this anime overall. Like the progression of it feels it feels very well thought out. Each episode feels very methodical and intentional, and I really like that. We have this story that's been pushing itself forward, and I love that the story is pushing itself forward, but it's also doing the world building kind of like around it, and it's building up this, it's building up Lou to be this like assassin of this world, and we now know he has 5 more years to take down the hero, and I can't wait for him to actually interact and find the hero. And I'm telling you, because I had the feeling that he might be connected to the hero some way in this world. I have a feeling that that might be his long lost brother or sister instead of Dia. I have a feeling that the hero might be a female. I have a feeling that he won't kill her, or I have a feeling he won't kill her. I have a feeling that he'll recruit her and he'll change their ways, and I feel like he'll be in control. Like, I just can't wait till that happens, but I can be patient because every episode we've gotten so far is awesome, and I really love to watch it every week. I like seeing him grow as a person. I like seeing him grow as a character. I enjoy seeing the additions of the surrounding characters for him. I do want to see him go on an assassination, though, here soon, so hopefully next episode we get to see him go on his first assassination job as a merchant. So I'm thinking that comes next episode, and I hope that comes next episode, but I can't wait to see that. But overall, I mean, those are really all my thoughts. I love this episode. I love the growth. I love his relationships with now Maha and Tarte. I love Dia. She's probably my favorite out of all of them. And I love that Tarte and Maha have still been Tarte's still being trained, and Maha has now been trained as an assassin. And that was proof in the pudding this episode when they had to commit torture. Oh, very last thought is I also did show the goddess this episode as well with her cosplay. She always cosplays like whoever she's reincarnating, and in this one she reincarnated a rapper. She reincarnated a rapper, and she had, I'm gonna use my switch here, but she had the boombox here. She's like, "Hey, yo, you're gonna go take on the hero," and I was just like, "Oh my effing gosh!" Like, it's so ridiculous, but I love it. And number 430 whatever failed reincarnation. They showed us, and his rapping had just offended people, so he was having a really bad time 30 years later in his reincarnation mode. But I'll leave you guys off on that. Amazing episode. Love the characters. Love Lou. Love this anime. Let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode. Let me know what you guys think about his relationships. Let me know what you guys think about Dia. What do you think his relationship is to Dia? And if you know, because of maybe you've read... I don't really know where this came from. I'm assuming this came from a light novel, but if you've read the light novel, web novel, or I don't know if there's a manga for this, but if you've read one of those already and you know, please don't spoil. But if you don't know, put down your guesses down below, because I'd like to see what other people's theory is on Dia. All right, my friends, I will see you guys next week for episode, this was episode 8, right? Or was it 7? No, this was 7. I'll see you guys next week for episode 8. Peace out, homies.